President Biden's high-stakes trip overseas to the Middle East. Earlier this morning, Biden met with leaders from Saudi Arabia, Israel, India, and the United Arab Emirates, and he reaffirmed his goal to never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon, committing to use all elements of its national power to ensure that outcome. For more, Deputy Political Director Averi Harper joining me now from Jerusalem. So let's talk about Biden pushing diplomacy rather than force when it comes to the threat of Iran and its nukes. Averi, does Israel agree with him?
Right. We saw this morning both leaders of both countries, President Biden and Prime Minister Lapid, both agree that it is necessary to confront the threat of Iran's nuclear capabilities. But the pair do not agree on how to get there. There is definitely a difference in the strategies that each nation wants to pursue that was on full display during that press conference this morning. We saw President Biden urge and call for diplomacy while we heard Prime Minister Lapid call for the use of force. He said if Iran continues to progress and move forward with its nuclear capabilities and its nuclear program, that it is important to follow through on its threat of using force and all of the powers that it has.
So Averi, Biden also held this press conference talking about the new declaration for a joint partnership with Israel. How significant is this?
Right. Well, a major part of this trip is forging connections between Israel and other Gulf state nations. And that is really to confront broader issues, including the fallout from the Russian war in Ukraine. Talking about clean energy and climate issues as well. In that declaration, Biden also reiterated his support for a two-state solution. That's not really been a major focus of this trip. That's kind of on the back burner at this point, but it is about putting all of those things in writing and ensuring that the world knows where both Israel and the U.S. stand.
And as we know, Biden is getting a lot of heat for the next part of his trip, the Saudi part of his trip. He's headed there tomorrow. He's already begun avoiding questions about journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was allegedly assassinated by the Saudi government. Is he going to defend his meeting with the Crown Prince or continue to avoid questions?
Right. Well, the president has defended his trip to Saudi Arabia and his trip to meet not only with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, but also with other Saudi leaders. He says that, yes, he understands that his stance on human rights has been very clear. He says he's not sure if he is going to bring it up during that meeting. But what is really at stake is really the larger impact of the Russian war in Ukraine. That it's also in the backdrop of things like high gas prices at home. He says he's not going to speak directly to the Saudis and ask them specifically to increase production, but that is something that is going to be a topic of discussion as well.
All right, Averi, thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.